Skopje, capital of the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, a modern European city. But just an hour's drive away, on its outskirts, is Shutto, Orizari, an appalling ghetto home to more than 100 Roma families. This is where Bayramsha Selmani lives. Barely 30, she has 7 children.
I wasted my whole life caring for the children. My life is over.
It's just past 10 o'clock in the morning. Some of her children are still in bed. They're in no hurry to get up. There's no breakfast waiting and no school to go to. For the family, it's just another long day, waiting to see if their father, who gets occasional work collecting recyclables in a nearby waste site, can bring home enough money to feed them.
On days when he gets paid, he'll buy sausages, 4 loaves of bread, and some milk for the baby. We get 1 meal one day and eat nothing another day. My children are full of lice. They are dirty. There's no place to wash them. No shampoo, no clothes. My life is full of pain and suffering.
And they are far from alone. Many Roma live in abject poverty, denied their rights. Often regarded as outsiders, they have long endured a life of prejudice and exclusion.
This prejudice is wrong.
Roma rights advocate Latifa Sikovska.
The Roma are very loyal and hard-working people. They want to work. Unfortunately, there are people who hear the word Roma and immediately think of the stereotype, Roma cheat and steal.
A Roma herself, Latifa says the key to breaking this stereotype and the vicious cycle of poverty is to ensure that they have the same rights and access to opportunities as everyone else.
The integration process is very difficult, but we must not leave that road.
It's a road that began more than 6 centuries ago when the Roma migrated to Europe from India. They are one of the most discriminated ethnic groups in the world. During the Second World War, many were rounded up and sent to concentration camps along with Jews and other minorities. After the war, things did begin to improve for the Roma living here in the former Yugoslavia.
I believe that when I was growing up in the period of Yugoslavia, we were all equal.
Under this once socialist regime, Latifa received 9 years of state education. And with a talent in sports, she furthered her studies and got a college degree in physical education, became a professional soccer player and later a sports coach. But things started to change here in 1991 after the former Yugoslavia fell apart. Many state enterprises were closed as a free market economy emerged. Roma like Latifa were the first to lose their jobs as previously suppressed prejudice resurfaced.
I tried to look for other work, but I did not find any.
Some, like Bayramsha, lost even more: their citizenship. They are now foreigners in their own country. The reason? Simply because they could not afford the fees now required for state-issued documents like official identity cards. And without these documents, they are excluded from mainstream society, losing access to social benefits and services. They can't even register the birth of their children, who then cannot attend school or receive any free medical treatment. Such was the case for the 4-year-old daughter of Senada Kurtyshovska. Sick, the hospital refused her admittance.
So I brought her home, but her condition did not improve, and she died 2 weeks later.
And now the same nightmare is happening again. Her youngest daughter is sick. But without documents, no doctor will treat her.
It makes me mad that they ask for too many documents for people who can't afford a meal.
Latifa, determined not to let poverty deny Roma their basic human rights, founded a non-governmental organization dedicated to educating them about those rights.
Roma, wherever they are, have to understand one thing. They can't expect to stay home and then someone would just come and solve their problems. They need to be more active, raise their voice, fight for their rights. We need to change things.
As part of the work, she took Senada and her baby to the hospital, demanding that she be treated.
The law states that every emergency case has to be hospitalized and taken care of, regardless of the lack of documents. We are the link between families and health institutions. We will intervene and make sure they claim the rights to health care. The work is not easy.
And their work doesn't stop there. Latifa believes another critical step to achieving their rights and breaking the cycle of poverty is to help women make informed choices about family size.
Families with many children are an issue in the Roma community. We try to explain through workshops to these women how to protect themselves and plan their families.
We are trying to work with the community, in particular to raise the awareness.
Tatiana Zikovska, former program coordinator for the United Nations Population Fund.
Ignorance about existing services and about your rights is one of the worst things. And I think one of the key aspects of work to tell them that there is a service, that there is a right, and that they are entitled to fulfill that right.
Once resigned to her fate, Bayramshah is now embracing her rights and is determined to leave poverty behind, starting with attending workshops led by Latifa and her group.
I do not want to have any more children. I want to have a normal house like everyone else. I want to have water, bathroom, toilet, window, so it's not so dark inside. I want to send my children to school so they will learn to read and write and not be illiterate like their mother.
Latifa is working hard to raise funds and do what she can to improve conditions for families and their children.
The work is hard, but when you see that there is progress, this gives me the motivation to go on. When I see a smiling face, this is when I feel very happy.
It is still a long road ahead, but by empowering the Roma, Latifa is paving the way to break the chain of poverty and social injustice that have bound her people for centuries.